Hello Pandas, thubprint from thubprint Prospecting here, and if you're new around here, welcome! I hope to earn your subscription today. Gold panning, yes, jump right to it. We're trying something new. I've never done this before, and I want to see how well we can do. There's a bunch of great places that other people seem to do pretty decent at hauling bits of gold, and I haven't really found enough to make a ring out of the e-waste I've been collecting, so let's give this a go. And depending on how we do, I've got a crucible and I've got a torch ready, so let's see what happens. But first, we're gonna need some equipment. I've got what I think is pretty much everything I need to make what I need. This is a snuffer bottle, the thing for collecting the gold, but it seems a little not good. So we're going to modify it. Got a little tubing. I'm going to drill a hole to make sure it fits. And just squeeze that through. I don't think we'll need to glue it because it's pretty tight, making a pretty decent seal. And we just want a tube that hangs down a little bit into the bottle, so that way when we squeeze it, nothing from inside gets squoze out. It's probably long enough. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Perfect. And now this thing. I had a few shots of collecting and assembling these pieces, but I don't know where they went. It doesn't really matter. They weren't important. I got this idea from another YouTuber who had a pretty great video on how to make one of these. I will link it because they obviously know what they're doing, and I did not until I watched their video. So basically, it's like a syringe to gold sluice is what we're making. Dredge, a gold dredge is what we're making. So that's got to go through there. We cut a little hole there. There. This doesn't have to seal, it just has to fit. And it certainly does. This probably doesn't need to be glued on, but, you know, it might be resisting some force as we draw the thingy up. And then a little handle just to make it easier to draw that thingy up. And it seems to be a pretty decent length. So I'm scoring this just to make it add a little friction to give the glue something to bite onto. And then this little piece of pipe insulation foam. All of this stuff cost me, I don't know, less than $5 for these parts because my friend Tyler gave me the big white tube. And there we go. We'll fit that on. And, you know, try and max and get it where it needs to be. And then wipe up the excess glue. And we'll let that dry. It's going to be good. Now, the drive into BC is always gorgeous. It's a little more treacherous in the winter time, but yeah, there's no public gold panning as far as I know in Alberta. So we had to go for a bit of a cruise, and this is a little spot called Gold Panner's Campground. And our dredge, with a reducer on the end for increased draw power. It's obviously too early to call, but I'm a little suspicious of how much you can really get out of a place with that sign that says gold panning. I mean, we'll see.
We're definitely probably not going to make a profit on the gold. We spent $2.
Honestly, probably not very much.
There's definitely other people here. This is a bit of a spot, but I'm really going to try and channel my channel the spirit of Dan Hurd and really look for the spots where this stuff is likely to settle in.
Oh no, they're for sure swimming. Oh, nope, that's gold panning. That's a panning.
This is a nice big rock. Yeah, we just got to pick a few spots and test them out. Okay, so we're going to hunt around in a few different cracks and see if we can find the right spots. I'm pretty sure what we're looking for is where sand tends to settle in and pile up. So any like little sandbar would be a good potential spot, but ideally something where it goes low and down to the bottom because of the weight, you know. I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know what I'm talking about, but we're going to try a few different spots before we commit. Okay, we're going to start with that little crack down there.
That's cold. Some cold water.
With the big chunks out. Alright, I think I should have this a little bit more concentrated. I don't really see anything in there. I don't see any flakes of gold. So, next spot. I mean, I want to try like under there, but I don't know if I want to get that wet. You know?
Do it.
Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna have to.
Do it.
Alright, I'm going for it. You know, the best part is how super comfy this is gonna be, because the water's not even cold. Freak. Hold that. Whoa, what? Oh no! I broke my dredge. This is why there was a little plastic cap on there.
I got that on video too.
Okay, so that's not happening. I'm super bummed I don't get to fish around down there. Blast!
Now we can't hit it big.
Ah, now we gotta dig. Well, alright. Shirt's back on.
Rocks all the way over there is probably going to be a best idea to get right there.
Yeah.
Which sucks because how fair it is, but...
Okay, I'm gonna be real with you, it did not go amazing. I didn't find anything. I went through a bunch of different pans and, but I made a friend. Thank you, Umberto, for showing me some techniques and what is likely to work. I thought just watching a few Dan Hurd videos was gonna be enough. It's not quite the same. It's not as good as like actually having somebody pay attention to what you're doing in your own hands. Be like, no, that's your. See what you're doing there is this, but what you should do, what'll work better is that. Anyway, Umberto was great, and I think I've got a better idea what I'm doing. At least that delusion is what's giving me the confidence to keep trying. I'm gonna keep trying because there's gold in here. People are finding it, and I want it. I think I did it.
I guess you have improved since yesterday.
I mean, something's improved. And see, there's those little clear red ones. I think those are garnet.
Oh, nice.
We don't want those. That's weird. It's like the only two in there. I got out on the first. Okay, Umberto also mentioned this pan is too shiny. And then it's not gonna work unless I scuff it up.
should be better. So first we get rid of the silt. And a swirl so it's thin, so it falls to the bottom. Less material to go through, so I was told. And then back, and then forward. And then just let the water peel the top layer off. Oh. 2 flakes. That makes 4 so far. All right, so far this has been great. We've actually found more than I'm not mad about how much we found. It's okay, but this spot is kind of good, but there's no good seating, so I'm gonna try and fill up this bucket and then go through it a little bit faster. Oh, that's not good. Okay. Was a giant rock. Don't want that. I've also learned that this shovel kind of sucks. That's quite a bit heavier than I wanted it to be. This may have been a mistake. The other thing Umberto taught me is apparently you're supposed to fill the hole back in, so you don't disturb the locality. So there. Let's go. So, I have got my bucket of cons, and I'm going to see how quickly I can go through it. We tried the quality. I think this is a game of patience. There's no way around that, but I really want to see The thing is, what I was noticing is that a lot of the biggest pieces, so I was being patient, I was being careful, blah blah blah, but like before I was really done, or what I thought would be done, the biggest flakes were kind of appearing, and I'd grab those, and then everything after that, I would just find like the tiniest little bits of flour gold. So I think maybe if I focus on those revealing those bigger yields, that might just be a better, I'm just making this up as I go. But I think it's worth a try.
It was here at the end of my second day of panning, through a bit of experience and Umberto's guidance, I was learning a few things. One of them was not being too gentle. I was far too worried about losing tiny little flakes that could be in there, and realistically you can be a lot more aggressive than I thought at first. Next was the importance of a good snuffer bottle. I thought this was a clever design, but the flat does not make it better. A simple round one, slightly larger so you can get more suction. I think there's a reason most gold panners have a similar looking bottle. And also the importance of good posture. Having some kind of a stool or a small lightweight chair to sit up on while doing the swirling motion would make a huge difference, because you get pretty sore after not very long. And yes, there's tools and techniques that would improve my efficiency, but beyond any of that, I was discovering a certain joy in this practice that is completely independent of how much or how little gold you come away with. And it's something to do with the feel of your skill developing as you get better and more familiar with what it's supposed to look like, making the pile of dirt and rocks into a bit of a non-Newtonian slurry that is in a constant state of motion and never actually cementing down, and then peeling the top layer away with the assistance of just the water resistance. In short, I experienced a bit of a perspective shift, and I think I started to understand what some people find so enjoyable about gold panning. Now, let's see what our total haul looks like. It's a bit tricky to get it all out, but there we go. Key for reference, regular house key. It's not huge. And then there's this little cube-shaped thing. It looked golden in color on one of the reflective sides. I'm not sure what that would be. And here's all the garnets we found. One of them is actually pretty big. Not valuable, but neat. I'm gonna put that in there for now. And these, well, can we weigh them? Not with this scale. Now, these little flakes, I'm not sure what those are. Some might be lead, some might actually be gold. The tiny ones might be gold with mercury stuck on them. Can't really be sure. Now, this was the part I was looking forward to. Hopefully I don't lose it all. Well, I'd say that worked pretty good. And there it is. I don't know about the color, to be honest. I was expecting it more golden, but I guess it is very small. And it still doesn't weigh anything, apparently. I've got a different scale to try. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, well, it weighs less than 0.1 of a gram anyway. I wouldn't say I'm disappointed. That actually looks like a pretty great little vial of treasure. Well, there we are. We did it. Realistically, that was my primary goal. I was hoping to find enough that I could actually melt it with a torch and not lose it in the flux in the crucible, which we kind of did, but it was big enough that we managed to reclaim it. I probably over-prepped that melt dish, if I'm being totally honest. But that's what this is. A journey of learning. Now, I realize this was a little different than the videos I usually do around here, but I really enjoyed it, and I'm hoping you did too, because I'd be more than happy to make this a semi-regular, and you know, at least once a year in the summer. It'd be fun to go out and find a cool spot and just see how much we can put together, because I know I can do a lot better than this. So, if you're on board, click the like, click subscribe, and hey, click the share copy link if you're willing to go the extra mile. But either way, I had fun, and I'm glad you were here. So I'll see you on the next one. And leave it better than you found it. Keep doing the thing.